Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Uniting for freedom means no mandatory digital ID. Uniting for freedom means banning all of my ministers from any involvement in the World Economic Forum.
Hey gang, what's up? Just Aaron right here, Question Period Canada. How y'all doing? You recognize Pierre Poilievre, the newsmaker of the year from 2023 by the Canadian press. He's supposed to be the next Prime Minister. People are interested on his thoughts about the Great Reset. Lots of questions about the WEF. We're going to answer some of those questions in this video, watch Trudeau take some pot shots, and just have a good time. Learn a little bit about Pierre's stance. People say he has none. Sounds like he might. Let's take a peek at some of these pieces.
First of all, modern MMT, they call it, modern monetary theory. MMT can also stand for more money today or magic money tree. It's this new theory where governments will just simply print cash. The banks will the central bank prints the cash, sends it over in a Brinks truck every day to the Prime Minister's office, and he just starts throwing the money around. Well, what we have now is a little bit different. To start with, we don't have a direct sale of the debt to the bank. It first gets funneled through the financial sector in Canada so that they can take a piece and take a cut and get even richer before that newly printed cash trickles down to the people on the bottom. But the bottom line is that what we have today is very similar to MMT. It is printing mass sums of cash that inflates the assets of the rich and raises the consumer prices of the poor. That is a massive new inflation tax that will only help big government, big business, and the super rich at the expense of the working class. That's why we're speaking out against it. As for Mr. Carney, you're right, he's part of the World Economic Forum that the finance minister joins, which says that in 2030, only 9 years from now, you will own nothing and you will love it. That is the agenda of these people. Maybe that's why over the last year they've done everything in their power to make housing completely unaffordable so that nobody can afford it except them, a small group of landed aristocrats, while the common people are out in the field doing the work. We on this side want to democratize property ownership, make it available to everybody.
The Great Reset is a book written by Klaus Schwab. We're going to listen to former Premier of Alberta, Jason Kenney, give us a breakdown of what that's all about. He gives a good explanation.
First of all, what is this Great Reset? Pierre Poilievre, the federal conservative finance critic, recently raised concerns about this, and then he was attacked by some in the media and by the Liberals for supposedly circulating conspiracy theories. Well, The Great Reset is actually the name of a book by a very prominent advocate of it. His name is Klaus Schwab. He sent me a copy. I guess he sent one to probably every government leader around the world. And Klaus Schwab's thesis in his book is that governments and societies, the world, should, quotes, seize the opportunity of the public health and economic crisis to reimagine the world and radically change policies. Now, in what ways? I would describe it as a grab bag of left-wing ideas for less freedom and more government, for more government intervention, for policies that would, I think, create massive poverty, particularly energy policies that he is advocating. So Klaus Schwab, by the way, is the president and founder of the World Economic Forum, also known as the Davos Summit.
Live from Davos, join us all week for our exclusive interview in Davos.
In the past several times, you have denounced the World Economic Forum, and you've made it clear to pledge that if your party forms government, you will ban your cabinet ministers from being involved with the World Economic Forum. Yet, I'm also aware of many Canadians who applaud you for saying that, but also have reservations on whether or not the claim is authentic because they see images of your name being on the World Economic Forum site, and also because you worked closely with former MP John Baird, who at one point was a World Economic Forum young global leader in a campaign. So my question for clarification purposes, For those concerned about foreign globalist organizations potentially encroaching on our nation's sovereignty, does your pledge to ban cabinet ministers from being associated with or involved with the WEF expand to those you hire as staff as well as advisors?
Yes. No staff, no ministers, no MPs in my caucus will be involved whatsoever in that organization. It is a group of high-flying, high-tax, high-carbon hypocrites who all got on their private jets to fly off to a remote ski village where they talked about how working-class people should not be allowed to heat their homes or drive their pickup trucks. I'm not going to work for a group of globalist billionaires who serve their own interests at the expense of everyone else. And I'd like to specifically point out Mark Carney. Here he was celebrating the central banks who caused the inflation by printing trillions of dollars so that people like multimillionaires like him could have their asset values inflated, while the purchasing power of working class people and seniors was wasted away by inflation. A massive wealth transfer from the have-nots to the have-yachts. A common-sense conservative government will bring home control of our democracy to this country, and it's not just on that issue. We will ban the IRGC to end the interference of the 700 agents that are operating in this country on behalf of the terrorist regime in Tehran, and that's according to Global News. We will shut down foreign-controlled police stations. We will bring in a foreign influence registry. We will bring home control of our democracy, and we'll make this a country that works for its people, the common people, and the common sense of the common people, united for our common home.
Everyone knows Trudeau's a member of the WEF, but he never talks about it. He throws stones like this at Poilievre all the time. It's unreasonable. Kind of funny.
This is what he should say. I reject categorically the endorsement and the support of Diagolon and of Alex Jones. Because Diagolon is a violent white nationalist organization, and Alex Jones is a garbage conspiracy theorist.
And that is why I've made it clear that my ministers in my government will be banned from participating in the World Economic Forum when I'm in government. Work for Canada. Work for Canada. If you want to go to Davos to the conference, make it a one-way ticket. But you can't be part of our government and working for a policy agenda that is against the interests of our people.
We hear from a lot of people, a lot of sources, that Pierre Poilievre doesn't have a stance on the WEF. Those pieces indicate that he does, and that he's not for it. The Great Reset, what is that all about? Maybe we should read the book. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. My name's Aaron. This is Question Period Canada. Like and subscribe, get notified, share, all that fun stuff. We've got other videos floating around. We cover every question period. Come join the live chat. It's a great community. So we'll check you out next video as we learn and share what we're learning with you about Canadian federal politics. Catch you next video. Thanks for watching this one.